the acknowledgement number, what it can receive, that can be some cumulative number. So see, this is the TCP segment format. Here you have a header and data part. In header part we have a source port address, destination port address, sequence number, acknowledgement number can be there, because this is a connection oriented, TCP is a connection oriented protocol, so we can have a acknowledgement number here. Okay, so this is a acknowledgement number, also 32 bits, and here is a header length and reserved bits. Some bits are reserved for future purpose, and here we have some control field. Okay, these are the control field, and here we need to write down the window size, and this checksum is for error corrections and detections, and these are some urgent pointer. So, and there are some optional field can be there, and padding field. Okay, if you want to padding, if you want to add some data with your data, so that is the padding. So that field is this is the options. There are any different optional fields can be there, or padding can be there. So these are the control field, what you can see here. So URG, this is the urgent pointer valid URG. Acknowledgement, this is the acknowledgement SEK, acknowledgement is valid here. PSA, this is request to push, reset the connection, synchronize the sequence number, and terminate the connection. So here one thing you have to remember, the TCP, transmission control protocol, is a connection oriented. That means you have to establish the connection before transmitting any data. Okay, so the connection establishment must be there. So these are the descriptions. So we have the URG, that is the value of urgent pointer field is valid. These are the flag value. ACK, the value of the acknowledgement field is valid. ACK should be there. Push the data, reset the connection, synchronize the sequence number during connection, and terminate the connection. So this is the figure where we need to establish the connection. So connection establishment using three-way handshaking. Okay, so here you can see that we have a client and server. So client is actually passing the data, and see here we have a sequence number. Suppose the sequence number is 8000. Okay, and we have the acknowledgement field and synchronize field. Okay, so A and S, these values can be there. So you can be send this data. Okay, and if server so it's provide the data through this communication line, and again it can pass the sync and acknowledgement both. So at first here we have passing the synchronizing field, synchronization sequence number during connection. So we are passing the sequence number. Then if the acknowledgement is passed to the client, that means the data, that means the communication you can establish through the server. Okay, then it can pass the data. So this is the sequence number, and acknowledgement number can be sent. So these are some arbitrary numbers. So sequence number is 8000, and it can send some random number, cumulative number, the acknowledgement number it can send. So here it is sending the, so see, this server is sending the sequence number 15,000, and it is sending 8000. Okay, so sequence number 8000 it is sending, and server is sending the sequence number 15,000. That means whatever the informations, the signal, whatever the information the server is sending, that is the sequence number of that data. So that is 15,000, and when client is sending the acknowledgement, so it can send the acknowledgement number 15,001. Okay, that means that value is actually received, and you can send the data, next data. So that is acknowledgement is 15,001. So this is for connection establishment. That means when a client wants to communicate with the server, so at first it can send the value, the flag value sync, and the sequence number. Okay, and if the server is sending the acknowledgement number, it can be sent by the server. That means the connection, that means okay, you can send the data. Okay, so this is a virtual communication, virtual connections is established. Okay, so now the client is also sending the acknowledgement. Similarly, so the sync segment cannot carry data, but it consumes one sequence number. Okay, so here we don't have any data, it is actually sequence number is carrying. Okay, the data is not. After communication, when the communication is established, then the data can send. So now sync plus ACK segment cannot carry data, but does consume one sequence number. This is also consume one sequence number. Okay, Okay, so these are not the actual data, so this is only for communication purpose, only the establish the communication. Okay, so now we have an ACK segment. If carry it also carrying no data, consumes no sequence number also. So this is actually consuming the sequence number of the next data. Okay, so see, ACK is 15,001 and here also ACK is 8,001, that is the next data to be accepted. So now after communication, establishment of the communication, then data can be transferred. Okay, so data can be transferred in this way. So here you can send the data with the whole thing, whole package. You can extra add the data field. So data field is added here. Okay, and you can send different data here, that is 8,001 to 9,000 and 9,001 to 10,000. So different this sequence of data you can send, and the server can send the acknowledgement. Okay, so this is the data transfer field, and after the whole data transmission is over, then we should terminate the communication. So that is the connection termination, that is the handshaking. Okay, so here you are sending that the sequence number and ACK, that is already the acknowledgement is actually all the acknowledgement is actually received. So here you have to send this FIN, this field. Okay, so you have to send this number, that is now we want to terminate the communications. So it is indicates by this flag field FIN. Okay, so I want to communicate, I want to cancel out, I want to terminate the communication. This message should be sent by the client, and if the server send the response, that means the acknowledgement, then the connections should will be properly terminated. Okay, so this is the handshaking technique, overall technique, what a TCP can be used to for connection oriented service. Okay, so this FIN segment, the FIN segment consumes one sequence number if it does not carry data. Okay, so it is also carrying some sequence number, the FIN segment. Okay, so this segment, this FIN plus ACK segment also consume one sequence number and it does not carry the data. Okay, so this is the thing, and so this is the full termination of the whole thing, whole communication. So there can be the half close, that is the data, that means the client can send the value, that is the whole thing, that is the FIN statement it can send, and here also acknowledgement, and here you can see data segment from server to client and acknowledgement from client to server. So here you can see that if we can the server, suppose server server is sending this value only FIN. Okay, so acknowledgement is here, and again, so this is a passive close, only FIN can be sent by the server. Okay, not ACK. So if ACK is not actually sent by the server, that is passive close. Okay, so this is active close. See, this is sending and then acknowledgement is passing to the server. So this is active close, and if the only FIN statement is passing, then this is a passive close. Okay, so no acknowledgement is passing here. So this is the half close. Okay, so in this way we can, the TCP can be communicate with each other. Okay, and this is the sliding window concept. That means the sliding window concept, that means what data is actually we are sending, and what is when after sending the window must be slide to the next data. Okay, so the sliding window is used to make a transmission more efficient as well as control the flow of data, so that the destination does not become overwhelmed with the data. Okay, so this is the previous concept also, sliding window concept. That means in the window we need to store all those data, and the window size should be there should be some predefined window size, and whatever the data inside the window, that data must be transmitted at first, and it should be received by the receiver, and acknowledgement should be provided by the receiver, and after that the window should be slide to the next data, and next data can be sent. Okay, so this is actually used for flow control purpose. So here are some mathematical example. So see, we have a sliding window. So here we have some data that is you can see, that is we have n to m. Okay, so data is from a sliding window, data are n to m. Okay, and here you can see that sliding window is okay. So see, what is the value of the receiver window for host A if the receiver host B has a buffer size of 5000 bytes and 1000 bytes of received and unprocessed data. So the receiver window for host A, okay, if the receiver and the host B has a buffer size of 5000, so 5000 bytes, and there is 1000 bytes of received and unprocessed data. So the value of receiver window, that is 5000 minus 1000. So 5000 is the whole buffer size and the 1000 bytes is received. So receiver window should be what? That is 5000 minus 1000 equal to 4000. That means host B can receive only 4000 bytes of data before overflowing its buffer. Okay, so this is very easy because buffer size is given and how many bytes is received, that is given. So you can obviously calculate the value of receiver window. That means receiver window can also get this 4000 bytes. Okay, it can store the 4000 bytes can store inside the this buffer of host B. So what is the size of window for host A if the value of receiver window is 3000 bytes and the value of client window is 3500 bytes? Okay, so calculate it. What is the size of the window for host A? Okay, so we have to calculate the size of window for host A if the value of receiver window is 3000 byte, okay, and value of client is 3500 bytes. So size of the window is smaller of receiver window and client window, which is 3000 byte. Yes, so this is 3000 byte, the value is 3000 byte, and the value of client window is this. So what is the size of the window for host A? Okay, so how we can calculate it? This is the client window size, and this is the 3000 byte. This is for what? This is for host. This value is actually for host A. The size of the window for host A you have to calculate, and if the value of receiver window is A, means what? A means this one for host A. The receiver host B. A is the sender and B is the receiver. Okay. So here the size of the window is the smaller of receiver window, RW window and CW client window, which is 3000 byte. So here you have to take only 3000 byte. The value can be 3000 byte because we can store 3000 byte only. Okay, inside this buffer of host A. Okay, we need to take the smaller value. This value we can store only here. Okay, because 3500 byte, if I want to store, it will be overwhelmed. So we need to take only the smaller value. So these are the some examples of sliding window. So some points about TCP sliding window. Here we can see the size of the window is the lesser of receiver window and client window. The source does not have to send the full windows worth of data, and the window can be opened or closed by the receiver but should not be shrunk. The destination, it can be closed or open, but you cannot shrink actually. It means you cannot reduce the size of the window. The destination can send an acknowledgement at any time as long as it does not result in a shrinking window, and the receiver can temporarily shut down the window. Okay, the sender however can always send a segment of 1 byte after the window is shut down. So this is some points about TCP sliding window. And ACK segments that does not consuming any sequence number and are not acknowledged. ACK segments do not consume sequence number and are not acknowledged. So this is there are some sent not acknowledgement. Okay, so there should be some acknowledgement field. So acknowledgement segments here, it do not consume the sequence number actually. Okay, and are not acknowledgement, that means this segment is actually when we are when the acknowledgement is done, that means the data is received. So it can be do not consume any sequence number. Here in a specific case, in case of sliding window, if we produce some acknowledgement, see the destination can send an acknowledgement if any time, as long as it does not result in a shrinking window, and the receiver can temporarily shut down the window, and the sender however can always send a segment 1 byte after the window is shut down. So you can just, the receiver can temporarily shut down the window and the sender can send the data, but temporarily receiver can stop to receive any data because of the overwhelming of the data. So for flow control purpose they can do that, and then that time acknowledgement segments cannot consuming any means data. Okay, when the receiver is not getting any data or not receiving any data, so acknowledgement field can be blank. It is not acknowledged. It cannot be sent the acknowledgement. So in modern implementations, retransmissions occurs if the retransmission timer expires or three duplicate acknowledgement segments have arrived. So here also you have the error control mechanism. That means the data is, if the data is not properly received by the receiver, so you can wait for the when the timer is expired and acknowledgement is not received, then you can resend the data. Okay, the same process, because this is a connections oriented, so you can send the data. Okay, if the data is properly acknowledged, data is received, so no retransmission timer should be set. Okay, if the data is properly received by the sender, means receiver, then acknowledgement should be sent by the receiver, then you need not start the timer again. So data may arrive out of order and be temporarily stored by the receiving TCP, but TCP guarantees that no out of order segment is delivered to the process. So data can be sent in a orderly manner, because there are different segments, so the order should be maintained. Okay, so TCP must be guarantee about that, so that no out of order segment can be delivered to the process. Okay, so this is the normal operation. So here the sequence number and acknowledgement, these values is sent, and here the server, that means from 12,001 to 1,000 means 1,201 to 1,400, the sequence number is sent, the sequence of data is sent, and the acknowledgement, the first, and this is the ACK 4001. This is the these values is also sent, and here the acknowledgement is also received. That means at first the connection should be established, so that's why this is going on. So this sequence number and acknowledgement also sent by the server also, and after that it can get the acknowledgement of so after this time period 500 milliseconds, so it can send the acknowledgement SK 5001 to the server, and server also send the acknowledgement of 1401. Okay, because you are sending the sequence number 1201 to 1400. So when this acknowledgement is sending by the server, that means the sequence number from 1201 to 1400 is received, and it wants to access the next sequence number, that is 1401. Okay, so in this way the whole operation can be going on. And if there is any loss of segment, any data is lost, then what will happen? The timer, you have to wait for timer time out, and then you have to just start your timer again, and you have to do the whole process again. Okay, so if the data is lost, then only you can just timer, you should on your timer again, and you have to retransmit the data again. So the receiver TCP delivers only ordered data to the process. So that means the data must be sent to the orderly manner. Okay.
So this is the retransmission process. So when there is any loss of data, so you need to retransmit the data again. Okay, so this is the same process as you just read before. Only here you have to send the sequence number as well as the acknowledgement number, and if the acknowledgement number, if it is received, then it can send the SCK301. That means the sequence number of 201 to 3000 is or 300 is already received. So SCK301 means receiver wants to access next data. Okay, that means the previous data is already received by the receiver. Okay, so this is the whole thing about TCP. So in TCP you have to remember the connection, how we can build the connections, and what is the normal operations, how we can do the connection establishment at first should be there, and then the data must be transferred, and when the data transmission is over, then you have to just terminate your connection. Okay, so that's it.